Hey everybody, it's the Daily Drive-By for 26th of October. I know you're wondering about the hoodie. No, it's not cold in the studio. The heat's working just fine. I'm wearing this hoodie to show solidarity with all the Occupy Wall Street folks. After all, winter's arriving up there in the Northeast this weekend. Snow all over the place, and I think I saw somewhere where they're expecting 6 to 10 inches in Philly. That's close to Wall Street. It's going to be cold in there. So the hoodie is to show sympathy for the plight of their plight up there in the cold weather. Not. Besides which, you can't call what they're going through their plight. A plight is what you're stuck with. Those folks up there at Occupy Wall Street are making a choice. I want to talk about them. I want to talk about the Occupy Wall Street people and the Tea Partiers. Because there's a lot of folks that have been comparing Occupy Wall Street and the Tea Partiers lately. Mostly politicians on the left, which I'm kind of odd. Wasn't that long ago when Tea Partiers were astroturf, according to Nancy Pelosi. Stupid, redneck, racist. Now all of a sudden, they're comparing their darlings, the Occupy folks, to us Tea Partiers. Yeah, I'm Tea Party minded. I'm not a member of any particular group, but I'm Tea Party minded. Now there are some similarities between them and us. Neither one of us like the way the country's going. The Occupy movement and Tea Party both think the country is headed down the toilet if we don't make some changes. Both of them are right. The difference is in who each group thinks is at fault. Now, people like me, Tea Partiers, think that this country's in a mess because of overtaxing, overregulating, overbearing, nanny state government that just will not keep their nose out of our business. That thinks we need a more business-friendly environment with less regulations. And frankly, the government needs to stay out of our damn personal business. I don't need to be told what kind of toilet to buy, and I don't need to be told what kind of light bulb to buy. The government thinks it's their business to tell me, though. Now, on the other hand, you got the Occupy Wall Street type folks. They think big business is to blame. They think the solution's more regulatory government. They want the nanny state, that same nanny state that the Tea Partiers are tired of. They want the nanny state to fix the problems. We both agree on the problem. We disagree on the solution. Another thing we agree on, we both agree that the other group is being led around by their noses by special interests. Now, the Tea Partiers say that the Occupy folks are being led around and used by unions, big labor, socialist-type organizations like Move On and the American Communist Party. Yeah, the American Communist Party does consider themselves to be supporters of the Tea Party movement. And being led around by a ever more progressive Democratic Party. And some of them are being led around like that. But some aren't. Now, you can agree with their assessment of the problem and what they see as a solution, or you can disagree. Doesn't matter. But some of them are actually trying to make a difference as individuals, not as sheep being led around, okay? Now, the Occupy folks say the Tea Party are tools of the establishment of big corporations. Like Big Pharma, Big Agra, big financial institutions, and a Republican Party that cares less and less about the individuals that it's supposed to be representing. But many of us aren't tools of anybody. You can agree with our assessment of the problem and what I see as a solution, or not. But some of us are actually trying to make a difference as individuals, not being led around as sheep. I think I just said the same thing about the Occupy people. Both groups have people that are total jerks, but both groups also have people who seriously want to fix the problem. We disagree about what the problem is. We disagree about the solution. but we're not being led around by sheep. Now, I think more of the Occupy folks are being led around than Tea Partiers. But then I'm a Tea Partier. That's just me. Hell, maybe I feel like that just because I identify more with the Tea Partiers. I don't know. They could probably make the same statement the other way. But both of these groups are probably a little bit wrong and a little bit right. Now, there are some differences between the two groups that go beyond philosophy and what the problem is and who's right or wrong and who's supported by who and all like that. I know that there's some distinctions that separate the Occupy people from the Tea Partiers that any of the Occupy people who want to fix the problems need to address. I know that most Tea Partiers, myself included, will listen to an opposing view. I'll try to talk you into seeing it my way. You try to talk me into seeing it yours. But we'll listen to each other. But what I will not listen to is people that have no respect for the law. I will not listen to people who show such little respect for other people's property. And by property, I include the businesses that you're camping out in front of or in the park across the street from and tying up and nastying up their bathrooms because you don't have porta potties out there. I won't listen to anybody that has no respect for other people's property. Those people try and do business, and they're not the damn big banks you're pissed off at. They're the little shopkeepers. So quit screwing up their business. I'm not going to listen to people who crap on police cars. I personally don't think the government should have any say in your sex life or in whether or not you're dumb enough to use drugs. But I'm not going to listen to you if you use drugs and have sex out in the open, out in public. What you do in your own house is your business. What you do in the park downtown that's paid for with tax money, that's my damn business. And I'm not going to listen to you until you start cleaning up your act and quit acting like animals. Because some of you are. And don't deny it because the videos don't lie. Some of you Occupy folks really want to solve some problems? Fine. So do we. Let's sit down and actually have an intelligent civil discussion. But first, grow up. Because right now, you're acting like children who didn't get to make up your own rules, so you're going to take the ball and go home. Not going to listen to that. I'm not going to listen to, and most Tea Partiers aren't going to listen to people whose most cohesive thought today, the most cohesive argument they have for the problems is destroy capitalism. If that's the best you got, we got nothing to say. You really want to solve a problem? Let's talk.